Hey guys, I hope you're well this evening. Oh, there's a plane I think flying off of from up right now above my house. I hope you're doing well tonight. I just thought I would have you join me for a little tea before bedtime. I hope you had a good day today. I think I had a pretty good day. You know, I was just thinking about sharing some thoughts before going to sleep. But today I had an interesting conversation with somebody because I was trying to give this person a few tips for maybe advice on physical therapy in the Netherlands, and I thought, why not share them tonight, in case it helps somebody. Just for your information, by the way, for the Netherlands, while you do need a referral from your physical therapist, from your GP for seeing any doctor with like a specialty or whatever, you don't need it for the physical therapist, so you can just straight up go and your insurance will reimburse it for you. But it had me thinking a little bit about my experience with the first physical therapist that I saw here in the Netherlands. Actually, before my current physical therapist. Sorry, I think that is a plane. I hope you don't hear it. Yeah, so actually, before seeing the current physical therapist I saw somebody else, and I'm not seeing him anymore. So the reason for that was because I found that I was very disappointed by the experience of actually going to this other medical physical therapy cabinet, I guess. The physical therapist I saw seemed very kind as a person, but then I remember the first day. So usually the first day you get assessed by a physical therapist the first time you visit, and I remember for that session, it was a 30-minute session. Okay, fine. And I remember being disappointed because he didn't really assess me properly. It was just very kind of like checking how mobile my limbs were, nothing else. But also there was a part where, and I can understand that side, right? There was a part where some of the assessment was also performed by an intern that was very scared to touch me, or rather to move my limbs to the full range of motion, or to test me actually properly under the guidance of this other physical therapist. So that first day I found it a little bit odd because at the end of that 30-minute session, the conclusion was, well, actually you're fine, but you're just a little bit tense, so you should be doing some stretches. Which is very odd because if a person has a lot of hip pain, typically it's not really stretching that is recommended, which is what I went to see him for. I'm tired tonight. And I remember that was a little bit odd, but it was okay still. But I remember for me it was more the second session that shocked me the most, because basically what happened was I arrived at the clinic, the physical therapist just said hi and then disappeared. Literally went into another room to treat another patient, and the intern was left with me, this very, very young intern that didn't know what to do, how to diagnose me, how to observe me, nothing. And it just was it felt very wrong as an experience, where the intern was basically going to see the physical therapist in the other room. He would say which exercises they should try out on me. And I remember I would say, okay, well, this hurts. Well, yes, but you need to do maybe 10 more of these and whatnot. It just felt like a very odd experience to be 30 minutes having the physical therapist that does have the experience, and for what at the end of the day your insurance is still paying for, just disappear altogether. And it just felt very wrong. And at the end of it, there was also a point where one of the colleagues from this physical therapist, I remember he said something like, okay, but what's her problem? Yes, but she's been here a long time. I don't have time to assess her. It just kind of felt like I remember feeling so frustrated because it felt like a complete waste of my time and of, in the end, like the valuable resources that I have. So I decided to stop going there because of that experience. And also the last guy, the guy that, the physical therapist colleague, I remember that he was just it was so infuriating to see somebody that had seen me not really being diagnosed or even be properly advised exercises by the intern / physical therapist, because she clearly was saying to him that she didn't know what to do or what was wrong. And this other person just say like, yeah, but I don't know what she has, it looks complicated, I don't have time to evaluate. Well, he was just sitting comfortably and very aloofly, like in one of the machines with his phone out. It was just a very odd experience. So I was like, nope, not joining that anymore. And then I don't know, I tried out this other clinic I'm going to, and the current physical therapist I have, he was just amazing. He spent an hour just testing my functional capabilities. So, for example, something I was very pleased about was, so he asked me to jump, and then he asked me to close my eyes and jump again, and to do it with one leg, with two legs, to squat with my eyes closed. Then he also did kind of a mobility assessment. Oh, and for example, the first therapist, he was also like, yeah, but, so I was telling him I have hip pain a lot, and I also have some shoulder pain, some shoulder and neck pain, and he was like, yeah, but we do one problem at a time. This other person wasn't like that at all. He really tested everything, and he also tested for strength. So he did mobility, strength, and he also did functionality, basically, of my body. And I was very, very impressed. He also tested my run, because I was telling him that I really wanted to run a 16K this year. And with that, he also advised me exercises like straight up. And at first it hurt a little bit. So when I told him that I had some pain during the second session in some areas, he modified the exercises and was able to tell me kind of where to focus on. And that was super helpful. You know, I think that with him, I've had the best progress I've had in a long time. I've had good physical therapists, but I think that he is so far one of the best. And I was telling somebody today about my thoughts that, you know, I was looking at how much he was charging my insurance, this guy versus the other clinic. And I was really surprised because he charges less and takes more his time to listen to his patient and be present for his patient, because it's literally like a one-to-one what he's doing, versus the other guy just disappearing in the middle of like just my arrival. It was insane. And I was telling my friend on the phone today that I find it really impressive that you can have somebody that seems to be more caring for his patients, to spend more time, that it's less maybe about the money and more about making sure that his clients are able to get back and stay out there, get back to work, be able to be functional and healthy. I find that really, really impressive, to be honest, from him. So I'm very, very glad about that. So anyway, I think I'm going to just finish my tea and watch The Umbrella Academy. But I hope that this helps somebody, that like if you don't feel comfortable or confident about the assessment your therapist made or how you're being treated, don't hesitate to stop, to say no to somebody to the next appointment and just go see somebody else. It's actually worse if you miss an appointment, one could say. So yeah, just consider that. So with that, I say, probably in this very confusing story I just put you through, but yeah, sorry about that. I'm going to say to you good night, and I will see you tomorrow or some other day. See you.